They still present, the Ninth Collective?
Yes.
We had questions about the councils. Hank had a question about the council, and I believe Hank and Lars are both on councils.
Yes.
And just to be clear, what type of council are they on the same councils?
We're all on one council of 7 together.
We both are on a council together and there's 7 members on this council?
That's correct.
And what is our mission? What is our intent, our purpose in the council?
You are what you call a light worker that will help in this transition of frequency change. You're helping a lot of people with this and doing a great job.
Very good.
And we are thankful that you're staying on path and is consistent in this work.
Very good. What type of decisions are we able to make on this council?
We are not allowed to go into detail in this, but we can say that this decision about timelines, changes in the heart of people, changes in the field of make people understand that they are all connected and everything they do will echo the whole of the universe.
Understood. Now, Lars and I, we have conversations about what we're possibly talking about on those councils, and considering the planet has had so much negativity, which of course the negativity that we've created through our choices as a collective, but we've also have been led to believe that we've had outside interference from other races, extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional races, from beings they call the archons, and there's a whole long list. I won't go through all of them, but with all of that negative influence, and so what about the positive influence? Can you just give us a rundown of something extremely positive that people who listen to these videos could take with them and to give them some inspiration and a little solace in terms of, wow, we have strong entities working on our behalf, because that's all we ever hear about. We've heard about the Spear Being Alliance, and now we're hearing about the Ninth Collective. But if there's anything else, I think you understand what I mean, that you could help right now in terms of the people who listen. We'd appreciate that. And I'll hush.
We will certainly try to explain that when anything is changing, it has a chain reaction in the energy field. So if anything transcends into another realm or energy form, it also affects negative energy, what you call negative energy. But there is not longer negative entities or negative energy field that will be allowed to affect the transition. But there will always be energy because it's boundaries to what, if you say, what timeline we can do this in.
And we
every energy of fear is a hindering any changes. If you consider going into a dark room, you don't know what's in the room, you can feel this fear, and what does it do? It hinders you from taking the step into the room. But often, if you really do take the step, you will realize that there's nothing to fear.
We do understand that fear is opposition of love, and for third dimensional reality, we need that for contrast and polarity. Is that correct?
In some way, yes, but it's also blocking some transition. So you have to release your fears and trust what put forward to you.
Understood. So, if you
we are here to assist you in this transition, and there is no allowed for energy of any negative form to interfere, but the negative energy of fear is making this take longer time for you.
So this transition, are we moving beyond the fear? If that's what the entire transition is about, moving beyond the fear?
It's definitely a part of it, yes.
And then moving into higher vibrations where we're more connected to source consciously?
Yes, you will be, and you also will be able to look back. And when you are in a higher frequency, you can look back at the energy that you left behind and see what it had for a role in your life.
And that'll be a good thing.
That would be an obvious thing.
And everything that we're doing here on this planet, as you said before, it's rippling out into the universe. Would you say that the planet Earth, once it makes this transition, will be a domino effect? Or are we at the end of the dominoes? Metaphorically.
If we understand you right, we are in the start of the dominoes.
So once Earth, say when that first domino falls, in a sense, when Earth actually makes its transition, then everything will ripple out throughout the universe.
That is already happening.
That's already happening. Very good. And could you elaborate, please, on the event? Everyone keeps talking about the great event. I know there's certain things that can't be said, but whatever you could just lend to that in terms of clarity, we would appreciate that tremendously.
We want to put forward to you this time that you will be able to perceive with more clarity what you now is not able to see. The event is nothing that is going to happen suddenly. The event is that you are going to open your eyes and are able to perceive in another way that you do in this dense frequency.
That's understood. So it won't be nothing sudden, just eventually people. What about, and we had another question, And I'm sorry to jump here, but we've heard for years about Argartha, and in our last communication with you, you said there are no more civilizations or no more, I think this is what you say, I'm trying to clarify, no more underground civilizations would that be of ETs and extra dimensionals that are under the planet? Or would that be breakaway civilizations that were on the top of the planet and then had went under? You said they were deported. Could you explain that just a little more, because it became a little controversial at the thought of people hearing, oh, there's no Agartha and there's no advanced civilizations no longer under the surface of the planet? Or did you mean there's just no negative influential civilizations under the planet or in the planet? Could you explain any of that?
We would like to put it this way, that
please,
that kind of energy that formerly used to hold you back,
yes,
energetically, is not longer allowed to play any role in this transition. There are no civilization on this planet at this time that is not meant to be there.
Understood. So that means that there still may be civilizations under the crust of the planet, but they're not of negative intent.
Exactly.
Okay, so that clarifies, because, okay.
You have a lot of light workers aware of this situation, because they have to be able to help in this transition. And there is light workers in many different frequencies. And they have cleared all that thing away from Earth or Gaia, or the total of your solar system, not only on Gaia, other planets also.
Ah, beautiful.
It's cleared away.
Very good. This helps tremendously. The clarification, we are very appreciative. We've also gotten information from people who have worked in various government clandestine projects that there are a number of different types of species of men, or I'll say men, under the surface of the planet. They were describing some as who look bird-like but with reptilian type scales and some were short, that with big eyes, that look sort of like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. They were saying are there different types of entities, sort of humanoid entities in a sense, that live naturally on the planet beneath the surface of the planet.
There is no reptilian entities living on the planet for now, but there is many different kind of entities working, and some of them have located in different places, like a center for them to work from.
Okay.
They all have the same purpose, to help you going through this, in this really near linear time, and all the negative energies are cleared away and will not be allowed to interfere anymore.
And that is really understood. The particular question that I was asking was not, we know, and you've made it clear now, that yes, there are civilizations that are there for the purpose of helping us through the transition, but are there more primitive or from our perspective, because they don't have, be primitive entities that live within the planet, underground, and I'm sure they may even come out at times at night or what have you. But there was I was just Corey Good. He was naming a bunch of different things that he had uncovered on his smart glass pad that he spoke about, and they had actually categorized a few of what you would call more primitive entities that live. And are you familiar with any of that, out of curiosity? Different types.
We are aware of the saying, but we are not aware of the meanings. There is no need for a lower density to still be here now.
Understood. Understood. That's what's most important.
Yes.
Very good. And you say a council of 7. I was told that I was on a council of 9 and a council of 11 before. That's 2 different other councils. What's the purpose of that? What's the discussion on those other councils?
The discussion on the council, we can't go into details in this moment.
Okay, understood.
But we can assure you that you are not only on one council, or directed to the most positive for the source energy to be able to spread across the universe and other realms that you're not aware of this time.
Very good. Very good.
We are going to clarify this more later, video speaking, and we are going to put forward some technique for you when you're ready for it, and it will be soon in your kind of linear time.
Are you speaking about for me, Hank? Is this correct?
For Hank and for the humanity, that's the collective.
Very good. And I mean, I'm not trying to make this about myself, but so the technology will come in for humanity, and lots of people will receive it and put it out in that aspect, in that way. Is that what you mean?
The people that are prepared to receive it will receive it.
Ah, very good. Very, very good. And I know, of course, when we're ready to receive it, then it'll come forward. My partner, Eddie, is he connected with any of these councils as well?
No.
Oh, very good.
He is connected to entity Hank in a way that they're energetically matches each other and are feeding each other with energy when it's needed. And they both had things to work on, but in different ways.
Wow, very good. Today when we decided to do this session, and I want you to tell Lars and I and everyone who's listening. Lars had questions, I had questions, and we both decided, we wrote our questions down, and then we'd come in and then we'd ask. And a lot of the sessions that I had done before for free with different people, and I'd ask a lot of questions. how do you feel, or how does the Ninth Collective feel about the way that, I'll just say for myself, the way I'm doing this, the way I'm asking questions? Do they, do they think it's a positive, good thing? Of course, you've said that before, that it was positive, good thing. Or do you think that I'm working purely from ego? Or how do you see what we're doing, or what I'm doing?
You can assure that you're on the right path for now.
Oh, very good. That's enough for me. Unless you have more.
We know that Hank has problem with faith or trust in it. It is in his personality when he self-decided that this was something he need to work on, learn about, but this will be lifted off him because there is no need for it anymore. And we are pleased with the work you are doing. You are doing it for the best of the collectives.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Is there anything else in this moment, in terms of, like, say, for instance, we're doing these sessions via Skype. How do you feel about us doing these sessions via Skype? Do you think anyone could be harmed, or that it's not a good idea to do them via Skype because we could be disconnected or anything like that? What is your take on that?
We see no problem with this because you are helped all the time in every aspect when you're doing the work for the right reason.
Ah, very good. And we definitely, our intent is to raise the vibration of this planet until we can make a huge breakthrough. And of course, we're not going to stop. So we appreciate the support. Any connections, any, of course, I always have 1,000 questions, but I'm running out. I just wanted to make a brief connect. Anything that you have for anyone who's listening to this right now, that would help them, and because that's what our intent is initially.
We want to assure you that everything that happens now is for the good of all. And we don't talk about personal problems. We talk about problems for the essential for this planet. There will still be happenings that you will consider be negative, but is also a part of a plan that is taking place. And as we told you before, in every action that happens, in every change that happens, it also has a ripple in the negative way, but it will not affect you in any bad way.
Understood. And what do you mean by personal questions?
You will still be able to feel sorrow. You will still be able to feel not loved. But that's from your inside. If you open up and let the energy flow through you, you will feel the love, and more of you entities on Gaia will be able to do so. It's happening every day.
Understood. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
And we've been seeing in the air so many videos now of some of them look like rockets. You see things that look like spirals in the air. Who's behind that there's so much misinformation and disinformation going out, and a lot of people, they come to this channel to listen to these particular posts that we make because we ask these type of questions, and it just helps them feel a little better. It's just a little bit more supportive. Say for instance, they said it was a rocket, but it had a blue stream and a green stream behind it, and it looked like there were little tiny UFOs. Say for instance, that particular, who's behind all of that? Who's behind that? No. And when I say who's behind it, is it the higher dimensionals helping us, showing us that they're there, or is it the lower, or our, say, we call shadow government trying to perpetrate? And I'll stop and let you answer. Sorry.
We will not be able to sort out every event that's taking place, but we can tell you this, that some of them is man-made, and some of them are not. The man-made is a desperate way for the shadow government, as you call them, to try to hinder these coming events to happen. But it's futile. They will not be successful in this.
Understood.
They are going to reveal themselves.
And my very last question before we come out of this is, what significant things does the Ninth Collective see for the year of 2016 in our linear time frame? So anything positive, something positive is...
The flow of love energy will increase. The flow of positive energy will increase immensely.
Awesome.
Coming linear years. But you that are open for this will be aware of this increase of energy flow. And you will be more and more that your feelings are in the right place, that your mind is settling in to this transition to a higher frequency. You are already on the way.
Excellent.
We will leave you with this now, and we will be in contact with you when it's appropriate. So, greetings.
Thank you very, very much. We appreciate all of the amazing information. I'm sure our listeners will be very happy to receive this message as well. Now I'd like all the consciousness of Lars to slowly come back into his body.